Sorry guys, but I've been rambling away thinking that it's recording and it isn't. Um, that other 1971 penny seems to have disappeared. So I'm assuming that I've just stuck it in the church bag of copper that I've got. I'm saving to give to the church. Oh, hang on a minute, I've got to lift my hand. Oh, jeez. I tell you, you really don't want to break your arm. Do not break your bones in your arm. Oh, jeez, or your fingers. Um, yeah, I've because my desk is so completely got junk wherever I look. I've just allowed it to get worse and worse. I think I'm inclined to do some of these 20p bits. So because 20p is quite, no, it's not a lot of money, but it's nice to get them sorted out so that you can spend them. Oh, here's another 50p here. So we'll do that as well. The 20, oh, that's a pound. The 20p's usually are again the new design. It's the old design is so crude. Well, in actual fact, no, they are both the same really in design. They're both crude in design. I'll show you why. Oh, flipping heck. And that's the only trouble with having one hand is when you go to pick up the coin, you can't see what's around it. Most of these are 5p's because I'm selling it, would sell them as sets. Yeah, the newer design of the 20p is more fault looking, as you can see. They're the same. That's new, that's new, that's new, that's new. So I've got 4 out of 6 are new, which is the precedent you look for in defining certain things. I've got quite a few 10p's on here as well, and pound coins, which I'm quite surprised at. But then again, I'm not surprised because the pound coin, in being a fake issue, oh look, there's another 50p. There's another 50p. See, I could be spending these buying tidbits, sweets that I shouldn't be eating. And that looks like a 50p as well. It is, so that can come down onto here. Oh, that one's a picture one. Oh yeah, I see what I've done. Yeah, I've brought the 50p. These are my picture 50p's, which really shouldn't be there. So behind this plinth of wood, yeah, that's another one. These are the ones that I would be selling anyway because they are special 50p's. And when I mean special, when I say special, I mean they are representing something. Some are more valuable than others. And then the way that I look at these coins, these 50p's, is if you look at it as a special, you're segregating it away from the normal 50p, and therefore you've started the process of minimizing what you're looking for, because with those coins you are looking for faults. Oh yeah, I've got another 2 here, look. You won't be able to tell that. That is Beatrix Rupert. Is that Rupert? Or it might be Beatrix Potter. I'll be selling that. And this is the Olympics, I believe. Yeah, the Olympics swimming. Oh, look how badly that's been beaten up. Ooh, dear. But again, you know where the areas to look for polishing, and it's on these bits that are not got detail. What's the other lot? Oh, the other side's just as bad. Look, you need to take the light off of that. Yeah, so that's another 50p. I've got two Olympics, swimming and what's the other one? That's another good one for selling. Harder to find coin. Battle of Hastings. I think the majority of these have come out of my own collection. Not the ones that are damaged, because I only used to collect the pristine coins in your change, the brilliant uncirculated type that we're conned into thinking about. So what I'm going to do, I think, for clearing my desk up alone, I'm going to start covering the pound coins, which is a very detailed, like the £2 coins. Well, it's worse than that with the pound coin. They've picked so many things to determine whether it's a fake or not. And there's so many things it can be, it's unreal. Right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 new 20p pieces and 4 old. So on the law of averages, you've got 5 against 4. Not a big help. Let's go to this 50p, get this 50p out of the way. I want to drop the light. Do you see now what I say about the diamond along there? You can see it there a lot better. Starts there going thin, comes out wide, goes thin, comes out wide, and it goes thin again. A terrible coin, been beaten up. You would struggle to find anything standing out to make it be worth segregating. The first thing I would do note, though, that if the initials are in the beading, let's have a look at the other side. Yeah, I'm going to need to drop that light even more. No, you can't. No, that's not him. That's not the designer's initials. So it is the other side. The designer's initials are crap. Missing, and again, I wouldn't sell it primarily just for that, because it is so predominant. You can find that coin in your change on most of the coinage of the new type, Markle Dent. It's the biggest fault there is. On this coin, you can see that the lines, that's because of the light, isn't it? Hang on. Yeah, but even still, take the light off and you've still got heavy wear. See where this is distinguished, it goes to nothing. So I would only sort of point that out as a point of fact. If I was looking for faults, it would be the strings again. which is common. So there's nothing really standing out on this coin. Well, I've segregated it. It would be probably just the initials. Let's have a look on the other side. 2015. Oh, it's doubly. It's a doubly. That's why. See around the Queen's head? That's why I've kept that out. Damn. So I think that's two 50p pieces I've got that's got a double head. Which again, as I say, is not very often. Let's go to the Crew 20p piece, which is this one. It's got a lot going on in design, mind you. But the crudeness... Oh, excuse me, sorry. This is when I should go back upstairs and have a snooze. And it's not even time of the day, not the time of day to do it. It's only 9 o'clock. The wording is what's crude about this coin. I've never ever actually got myself trained to looking at this crown. I would expect to see errors in there. That is a beautiful rose. And when you see the rose on the new 2025 coins, it's diabolical. It really is diabolical. Doesn't look anything like a rose. Oh, geez. I'll have you all yawning in a minute. This is an illusion. Oh, shit. Hang on a minute, I've got to get my hand up. It's an illusion. The 20 ends there, that is raised and then that is dipped, or it's the other way round. I can't tell you because looking at it like this, you can't see. It's when magnification doesn't help you. But one bit is raised and one bit is setting. And to me, it looks like this is the raised and that's the setting, just because of that alone. The WC, why they've used those there, I don't know. 9 times out of 10, you can't even tell what they are. I just, the coin's crap. I don't like using that word, but it's better than other words that I would use. It really is diabolical. It turns me right off. There is nothing about this coin that I like. Nothing. I mean, I hope you're getting the idea just looking at these. I don't know why I've even got this set out. I don't know. There must be something, and I can't think what it is. So if you look at that, oh, it might be that. If you look at the W in 20 and the T and compare it to the other text, that W it's not the same size. See? It's that the whole 20 is all over the place. And to be honest, I wouldn't even, if that was an error, which I don't believe it is, I may be wrong if it's a mistripe, but I'd need, hang on then, let's get another 20p. Oh, sorry guys. And this must be my medication kicking in as well. My pain meds. I only took them a little while ago. No, see, it is exactly the same. The W on this one is exactly the same. And they're both 1982s. So I better make sure that that's not just a 1982 error. Oh, there you go. So here's a 2000. What are we looking at? 20. Now, you see the W is bigger. Let's twist that coin around. Yeah, it's still smaller, but it's bigger, more defined. That's the word I'm looking for. More defined there than it is there. And the two 1982s together, I'm suggesting that they have improved the strike, or the blank, and the what do they call a coin that's hitting the blank? Is it the die? Yeah, it must be. The die is at fault, but actually that would be quite good. That'd be, oh yeah, this is, yeah, I'll tell you why that 1982 there is out. Look at the dirt in the depth of the strike. It's over there as well. That's all dirt, and you would need to clean that up to really understand it. You see, when you're talking about errors, it's more so with older coins, because the striking process was always easy to be at fault, whereas today is the other way round. But then we fall into the same thing what I've just told you previously about, if we were to have coins all properly correct, then they wouldn't be able to have mint sets and the stuff they chuck out for us. So yeah, do you know what? I've got a voice in my head at the moment. Tell him about the film that I've got. And I said it on one last night, in actual fact. The Cube and Lucky Seven. What I'm talking about now is I've got someone with me telling me to remember, and I won't remember. I know I won't. Even if I write it down, if I write it down, the piece of paper will get lost. Yeah, and I know what they're meaning. I know what they're saying. You see, with this 20p, you can see the raised part of the coin in the words where the dirt hasn't covered it. Whereas here, the only indication you've got that is on that E in the middle prong of the E. All the rest of it looks deep just because of the dirt. It doesn't have to be, but it is. So we've proved that at some point they altered the die, so it was more prominent. And hang on a minute, looking at that, so I've got to bring in this other coin again. It must have been a quick trend, because this is 1984, and that looks like it's improved. Yeah, the W is improved, so they must have realised that quite quickly. The people probably were reacting to saying it's an error. So by 1984, we've gone to a bigger W. I'm going to say I've not studied. Oh, and there you go. while I'm here, can you now see this is raised? The top part of the 20 is raised and the bottom part is set deep. It's a very good way of stopping fake coins. It's like a, what do they call it? A security feature. It's very good, and you can tell why. It wasn't set for a security feature. It's set for the dip. Because the coin is so crude, unlike our other coins where the rim is raised. Oh, what time is it? 9 o'clock. God, flipping heck. Time to bed. Because it's so huge, this is your rim. All this round here, round the edge, all this round here is your rim. Puts things into perspective, if you understand that. Puts things into perspective. And thus, when you become converse with this, it makes you look educated. And it's just a point of understanding what you learn. You could say I'm an expert, or what's the other word they use? Expert and the most common one at the moment is influencer, but it's expert and no, I can't even think of it. Again, it makes it very hard to see if the coin's polished or not. Although, in another way, it makes it quite easy because a polished coin will always leak. When you've got things like this going on, and in here, the dirt will stay no matter what you do. You would need a very, very good stiff brush to get all that dirt out. See what I mean? To get that dirt out is so very, very hard when you've got this sort of type of... When you look at the crown, again, it doesn't necessarily mean it has been polished, because it can be just wire. Oh, excuse me. Because it's the raised part. No, because it's the set part that collects the dirt. The parts that are raised will always be clean, because that is... So if you see a coin that's like this, where it's clean here and it's got dirt, that's what you'd expect to see. That's what you'd expect to see. And if you don't see that, that leads you straight away to looking for signs, other signs of cleaning. Now, I can't say that any better than that, and I shall forget this the next time I go to explain it. That's what you need to know and learn. Because now there are, with chemicals as they're being what they are, there's now ways you can clean that dirt out without even using a scrub. You don't need to do it that way no more. There are far easier ways of getting that dirt out. But, what did I say? But there still will be telltale signs, even using that way. But you will understand that. What you find is, if you collect a certain coin, that's your speciality, and it's good because as a speciality, you know instantly what the faults are, or where the indicators are for it to show signs of polishing. Yeah. Right, so let's go back to so I've got how many of these I've got? I've only got 4 of those. Yeah, so they are the 4. The two 1982s, which are the same, which tells you that all 1982 coins should be the same. But until you see a lot of these coins, can you actually say that as a fact? But this is a classic. That is a classic. That's what I needed to tell you to inform you of that. This part is dipped, that part is raised. It's very, very, it's a good, that's what I call a very tricky design, a good design. It's about the only thing that is, other than the fact that the rose is really, the English rose is more like a rose. And the crown is more like a crown, not these silly little prong tiaras. And like I say, I've never taken account of looking for errors with this, but you should do because there's more going on, and it's all the raised part of coins, which will be the strike. You know, the error strike. If it's the raised part, that's where you're going to see errors. More so than when it's the other way round. Simply just because of the way coins are made. So we've got two 1982s, an 84 and a 2000, wasn't it? Yeah, 2000. But you can definitely tell straight away by the 2000 and the 84 that the W has been changed. And I would beg to believe until we can get a 1983, which is in between the two, you're going to find it's either got a big W or a small W. There's a coin, and I don't know whether it's this one or not. The P also comes as large and small. I've got a funny feeling it is the 20 pence, but I can't tell you why. But this is what happens when they keep changing the design of the coin. Because you would specialise in this type to the new type, which is Michael Dent. I'm going to go to the other side now, because this is really the crude side. Yeah, I think it is. It is the P on the other side. Look how crude all this is and how close it goes to the edge. I mean, look at that H. The dirt shows it up straight away that it's not all that good. The 2, as in 2, Roman numerals. And this is another thing I didn't like. It changes that part of the coin. Yeah, I think that is a sort of a definition, because it's like the same thing on the reverse side, but is not. But if you take half the coin is like that, which is how it should be, because the head side is this side, this part is wrong, because the wording should be over here. It should be DGREGFD as you go round. Do you see what I mean? Does that make sense to you? But that, I think, plays on the part of the design of the coin that separates it to the other side. Because to try and word that for you, if you look at the dip on the 20, the raised bits in the effigy side, and the dip part is in the word part. You can instantly tell that this is a older version. Let's turn these all over. Trouble is, I can't remember what the years are. I think these are 282s we're looking at. Yes, and now see the H on this one is much defined. But it's just crude, you know, as it's horrible. I don't know why I find it so hard, but it's disgusting. I hate the coin. I really do hate it. I can't I can't believe that there's so much with this coin that is intelligent that the die would be so diabolical. You know? This lets down everything about the coin on the other side, on the reverse side. It just lets it down. But I do feel that it's done for a purpose. And I've got a sneaking suspicion, and I can't sort of describe what I'm going to tell you. You know, I've just been going on about the 2 and the O, raised and not. And then when you think of the rim is raised to protect the inner, but there's nothing there to protect because the rim is high to the head. Do you see what I mean? Oh, shit. Oh, my elbow feels like it's splintering. Jeez, wept. That felt like a splinter inside my arm. And this is how our magnificent NHS leave you. I should have been put in a ward and on the top of the list for getting this sorted out. But no, because it wasn't an accident, it was my own fault. You're chucked out of the hospital. That's the way I felt yesterday. No, the day before. The 19th, and it's what, it's the 23rd today, 4 days ago. That was the impression I got. They were under such pressure with the A&E. Sorry, I'm going off. But that really does hurt. Really does hurt. I could scream. I felt that pressure. When that ambulance crew wheeled me into A&E and I saw all those beds and these old people on these beds, it looked like when we was in the pandemic. Because I said, I don't know whether that was said on a coin or not, on a coin video. It probably wasn't. I've said it on video before though. Oh, now I've got my throat's going dry. This is when I'll be chucking sweets down my throat. I had to go and have a CT scan, and I was walking down the corridors, and I thought, because it goes to a T shape at the end, and I thought, what's all those beds doing? I realised there was people in it, and as I got closer, it got worse. And then when I entered into the alley It's not the alley. What do they call those? Anyway, when I entered that, which took you along to another part, takes you along to X-ray and CT and all the different aspects of that type of technology. The whole corridor, the whole corridor, both sides, was lined with beds, and any other corridor leading off of it was beds. When I got home, and this is when I made the post, wherever it was, and I was describing what I saw, and I said I wish I was a reporter, because it looked like a scene out of World War Two. You know, all the injured coming back to the camps for help. It was, and I tell you what, going back and thinking about this, once I was out of visual range of the beds, it wasn't a shock. It was a really weird, it was unsurreal. Because, like I say, how the brain, because I was in shock. When I saw it originally, I was in shock. I really couldn't believe in the 2000th century that this could be so, that this could be happening in our health care. But like I say, once you was out of that visuality of that corridor, it just became normal. You know, you was in an area whereby you was being seen. But that's a lie, because actually, and I'm going back. This is how I find memory is amazing, because there were beds inside, but you have to sort of, when you go to for a CT scan, you go through double doors into the reception like area where you wait, and then you go through another double doors where you're waiting to go into the rooms where you've got different CT scans. One is done with dye, and the other one is just like an X-ray sort of procedure. Fascinating stuff. My friend's daughter in America, she works in a hospital, and it's nice to get a perspective for someone who works in a hospital, because they come numb to it, you know. And Americans as well generally are not warded. You don't have rooms with multiple people, which is really, really, if when you come here and see it, you, Americans, I would assume, would really be quite shocked seeing our hospitals, because we haven't come away from the Second World War, when all the tents were full, lined, double sided, with all the same type of injuries. I mean, America has come on a long way, much more advanced than us in healthcare, but then you pay for it, whereas the NHS is paid for by the taxpayer. Anyway, that's how did I got there from the 20p piece? I do not know, and that's how my film piece went as well. I couldn't remember the start to the finish, and I had to go back, trace it back. Exactly the same thing. Yeah. So I think we're finished with those 20p's. The 282s I would collect until such time as to finding out whether it was the same year that it changed from the crudeness of that and a small W to a big W. The 82 is exactly the same. but the 84 is not. The 84 is a big W. See? And I may even be wrong at that, to be honest. I just, as I turn that coin over here, no, it's the wrong one. It's this one, isn't it? No, it isn't. Why have I not seen that? Oh, the 20. Yeah, you can. Yes, now you've got a bit of light on it, you can see it a bit more clearly. Yeah, that is definitely small. That W is definitely smaller than the other coins. Let's just bring that in as a comparison. Yeah, that without a doubt, not like my 1971 pennies, that is bigger than that. Just by taking the top of the W to the bottom. It's the bottom part that's not right. It's a mistrike. Well, it's not a mistrike. It's a it is a mistrike, but it's the design of the coin that's the die that's wrong. So it's not a mistrike. It's the die that's wrong, which is why I call them a crude coin. So I wouldn't generally keep the other two. The 90, is it 96, 2000 and oh, hang on a minute, that's an 80, oh yeah, so it's the 82s I would keep. And the 84, and until such time as I could get an 83, and God forbid, I hope it's not a 20p. The 1983 is only a mint set coin, so that one can go to be spent. I need to keep that. So that's my 20p sorted out. Let's now go. So I've got to keep those. Whether I remember this or not, I don't know. I really don't know. We're coming up to 42 minutes. That goes on my computer. Now we've got the. Do you see what I say now about the claw? Yeah. Very indistinguishable that that's a claw like that. That's how it should be. Very indistinguishable. Right, so what sort of fault here? It's got to be, there's two parts that are at fault normally. Sometimes it's all this doesn't line up. The tail, usually if it's got anything, it'll be blobs of metal either side of it around there. And this, the beading as well is normally, so there's like what 4 or 5 parts of this coin that are wrong, that can be wrong, I should say, sorry. There's the initials, MD. Yeah, I can just about make it out. You need to see that on magnification. I can't see, other than that, why I've kept it. Put them over. What's that? No, let's keep to this side first, the reverse side. And there you go, the bead in there. It's always generally here in this area. Now, but look at that 20 compared to the other design, the previous design. See? I hope you're getting the gist of this. I know I'm not very coherent because of my mental state at the moment. But these are the things you know. And this is a huge area. Let me just take the light off. This is a huge area where polishing comes into its own, where you can see it clearly because the area is so huge. Yes, and that is there. No signs of. Oh, and there's how the claw should be compared to that. Oh, hang on. Where is it? It's round here, isn't it? Isn't it there? No, it's there. See, that's how bad it is. You can't even determine that that's a claw. You can only do it when I turn the light up. See, the third claw is a bit beaten up, but it is there. Hang on a minute. No, I'm telling porcupines, aren't I? Because the claw is there. That's right. It's that part that's missing. You just got the one claw. You've got sort of like two claws there, but you can't distinguish it. And there looks like bubbling here. But basically, the faults are in the same area all the time. It's very rare you see a fault outside of that specific location. But see how they've sorted that 20 out. Everything's the same here. So mentally, you can see how the coin evolved, because that crudeness, as we've seen with the other 20p's, stays there throughout. And you know, the 20p is crude on the previous version to Michael Dent's, which I think is 2008. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's 2008, because it was when the coins changed over and they introduced the new 2008 set, that the 20p missing date was 2008. It was obliterated. And what makes me laugh, oh yeah, look, there it is here as well on Lion. Yeah, it's defined there, but not as good as there. See, this is a better struck coin. 48 minutes, I've got 12 minutes. So there you go. And to prove my point, we'll go through the other three. The stamping the die. Why have I got this coin? There's nothing wrong with the beading. There's nothing wrong with the wording. Oh, it'd be this again, the claw. You have got 1, 2, 3. That back claw is the third claw. But really, that's crud. Oh yeah, of course, and the MD is, it's not very often, but sometimes it is hard to see. But it normally is the beading. So that's probably why I've kept this coin. There's probably going to be something else. I won't go on to the other side. We'll do this side first on all of these. No beading specifically at error. Probably maybe that one. The coins are all in line. There's a proper look at a claw. The third claw is going backwards on this one, whereas, oh yeah, there's blob. There's blobs. That's what it is. You need to do this in magnification to see what I'm going on about. So it's pretty rough. You know, with the claws, you see the difference here. back of from the claw to the leg. I don't know what that's supposed to be in actual fact, but you can tell there that is nothing like that. This is a good coin to sell. This is a very good coin to sell, because it also defines this to that. Yeah, so there you go. That is a real seller, a 20p seller, that is. This coin, again, if it was, oh, that E looks rough. It's just dirt, I think. Again, about cleaning a coin. I think that beading's out there as well. See, and what I would say to you is, if I'm looking for faults, and again, look here and there, it's the same thing to that other coin, but that there looks like beading's involved as well. The way this has been done as well, they look like blobs, but you would only see that under magnification or cleaning it up. And that's what I was just about to say to you before I got distracted. If you've got a fault coin, you can look at it in the way that you want to show up the fault. So if it's dirty like this one and the fault is actually in the dirt, that is the only time really you want to clean it up. See, that there is wrong. It's like a double header. It's actually there, but not like that is showing it. You'd have to look at this here, but that certainly looks like a blob. But whether this is blobs or whether it's damage, I don't know. I wouldn't worry about it. I would clean it up, because you're only going to keep it for your own, well, normally for your own benefit. So that it was an error coin. It would only become wrong if you was to sell your collection off and people were misled into thinking that this was a good a good strike coin instead of being a polished one. But most people that do that usually put a defining piece of paper around it saying what's wrong. And that, I think, is really the epitome of what I'm saying. You would have these coins certified, well, where you could have it described in a case. That's what should happen. If you've got an error coin, you'd send it away, get it verified, and it would come back in a case where you couldn't touch it any further than what you'd already done yourself. But yeah, these here are blobs, because it's hard to tell because there is so much damage and dirt. This coin's been through the wars, it really has. So I'm going to cut this one short now, because I'm going to go to the obverse side of this coin, and I want a break anyway, because my arm is absolutely killing me, guys. Thanks a lot, and thanks for staying with me in my incoherent manner. Where's this? Is another thing I don't like about this. You have to click it to get the mouse to come back into moving. I hope this has been fun. I know it's probably not fun because my voice is droning and tired, and you probably think I'm dying. But thanks for being here anyway. It's keeping me sane. just having something to talk about as I'm on my own, poorly. Diddums. Bye, folks. Bye.